Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and today we are going to go over how to get the Acorn Harvester treasure in Valdrassus, and this treasure rewards the pet Chestnut. It is a pretty simple treasure to get, and what I'm liking about the treasures that we are seeing so far on the beta is they are more puzzles to get the treasure versus the treasure just being up and then you are farming that treasure for the pet for multiple weeks, months, years at this point for certain people, for certain pets. So far I am liking the difference that I am seeing in treasure acquisitions for pets. But we will go ahead and get started. So, as you can kind of see on my mini map here, the Acorn Harvester stuff is going to be right behind me. And before we get too much further, I just want to say a big thank you to Matt JZ on Wowhead for finding this. We appreciate it. Matt was also kind enough to provide the coordinates, so I was able to put those in, and as you can see here, there are 3 locations for the acorns and then 1 location for the Acorn Harvester. Basically what you're going to do is the Acorn Harvester is standing on a rock near a tree, and when you go and you interact with the acorns on the ground nearby, it will give you a buff, which will then allow you to interact with the Acorn Harvester, which will in turn reward you with Chestnut. So we're gonna head over here. We're going to find the actual NPC first. So this is gonna be the Acorn Harvester themselves right here. Cute little guy, not interactable yet, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go find an acorn. So as you can see, the acorns are going to look like this, and they will have the little loot icon when you mouse over them. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that up, and we have a 5-minute acorn buff to feed our hungry squirrel. But in case anything happens, it looks like there are 2 more locations for the acorn. So you have one right here, and then you also have one right here. There might be more locations, but those were all of the ones that Matt listed on the Wowhead article. And right now on the beta, it's not showing the little cogwheel when you get the buff. So what we will do is we will relog, and then we will come back and the cogwheel should be up. Or just, I ended up just reloading. Reloading works too. And then you come up and you feed the Acorn Harvester, and Chestnut comes up in your bags. Chestnut is one of the new models that we have this expansion. It's a flying squirrel. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like it will be flying behind you, which we might expect from a flying squirrel, but it is a twin model of the Acorn Harvester here, as you can see. I do think that the new I do think that the new flying squirrel pet models are rather adorable. I do kind of wish that they would fly behind you or glide behind you, but that's okay. And what we're seeing here is kind of a combination move set between some of the squirrels we've seen, but also some of the flying pets that we got in the last expansion. So Windburst, which was a new ability that came in Shadowlands, is here. And then you've got Nut Barrage, so a typical move that we see on squirrels. And Adrenaline Rush, which is always nice for those pets that end up losing their flying buff and they just don't have the speed to go along with it. And then of course Scratch, Crouch, and Reckless Strike. I'm not usually a big fan of Reckless Strike just because it does do a increased damage debuff on you for 1 round for 25%. So depending on what you're doing, you might need to combine Crouch and Restless Strike. But Chestnut's a pretty cute pet. One of the many models new models we're gonna see in Dragonflight. At the moment, we have 4 treasures up on the beta to go and test out. We have found 3 of them. We as in just the general community. We found 3 of them so far. So Matt found the Chestnut that we did today. I hadn't seen anyone post about finding the viridescent duck. So I made all the posts on how to get the viridescent duck. And the other one was found by Kalis and a friend, and that would be the Rose 8 Hopper. I'm not quite sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled. It's spelled Rose 8 Hopper. So those are the 3 of the 4 that we have found so far. The 4th one is the Bubble Drifter, and we are still looking for that one. And I'm not seeing anything up on Wowhead as anyone finding that one in particular. It's going to be in the Waking Shores. As I said before earlier in the video, I am really enjoying the new way to do treasures. It's one thing to just have the treasures come up all the time that we'll need to loot, and I'm sure we will see regular type of treasures that will be lootable each week. We will probably have pets that drop from those, because we have over 50 pets that still don't have a source at the moment. So it's pretty easy to guess that we will probably have a traditional treasure or multiple traditional treasure pets. However, I am really enjoying this version. Like, don't get me wrong, the Rose 8 Hopper was a little more complicated. That one was a little more complex, but not so complex that someone wasn't able to just spend a day finding how to get the treasure. I'm definitely preferring the solve the puzzle, get a guaranteed pet drop versus the you have the treasure up every day, once a week, once a calling, once an emissary, whatever you want to call it, that will have RNG or stacked RNG, and you're gonna have to farm that treasure. I much prefer this way of doing it, and I think it's going to be more fun for people, especially ones who aren't looking up guides, are just kind of trying to find it out by themselves. This one is far more preferable to me personally. That being said, that is all I have for you for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed the very short guide on how to get Chestnut. If you have any suggestions for any other pet related content you would like to see me do a video of, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. Or if you have any questions about this video in particular, also feel free to drop those in the comments below. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in the world. And until next time, everyone, happy battling!